Mug's got beats. Rock Legion.
Welcome to my matrix, matrix. Welcome to my matrix. I can see me living in a matrix, living in a matrix, matrix, living in a matrix. Everybody, welcome to my matrix. Welcome to my politics, media, education and business, military and medicine, banking, religion, black market, stock market. These are just the basics. Everybody, welcome to my matrix. Welcome to my matrix. Everybody, welcome to my matrix. Take a seat, don't forget your vaccination. Welcome to my matrix. Welcome to my matrix. Agent Smith looking for you. Don't you ever get complacent. Welcome to my matrix. Big brother watching everybody move. Gotta keep an eye on. Welcome to my matrix. Same game, mainframe, love gang. I'm protecting Zion. Zion. Smoked out, call me Buddha. Lion, call me Judah. Black dog, call me Allah. Triangle, Bermuda. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, crucial. Black cat, I got 9 lives. Ascension of future. Metahuman, metahuman. Superpowers, I'm a metahuman. Perfection, I strive every day. You can call me a better human. Star, crystal, indigo, babies. I come to set you free from your enslavement. Welcome to my matrix, matrix. Welcome to my matrix. I can see me living in a matrix, living in a matrix, matrix, living in a matrix. Everybody, welcome to my matrix. Welcome to my politics, media, education and business, military and medicine, banking, religion, black market, stock market. These are just the basics. Everybody, welcome to my matrix. This is the matrix. My politicians corrupted, my media telling lies, my education disguise. This is the matrix. My business is corporation, my military industrial terrorizing your nation. This is the matrix. My medicine, it don't heal you. All of my banks are inflated. All my religions, they kill you. This is the matrix. Stock market, in fact, if you need an organ from blacks, we got a market for that. Look, my style is organic, my nature demands it. I'm saving the planet, I'm taking advantage. From killing myself with these poisonous habits. Now I'm helping myself and you taking it badly. Labeled as a renegade, even though I'm free, I know you still want me to be your slave. Sour like the lemon head, life hand me a lemon. I'm Beyonce with that lemonade. Life hand me a lemon, I'm Beyonce with that lemonade. Whoa, 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 let's get it. Yo, what up, people? Without any further ado, we about to get it popping at the stream. Hello, my brother. Hold on, let me add the other thing to the stream. I know you got the double screen. What up, everybody? We about to break down some codes real quick for everybody that get off of work and come view this later. You already know we did this with y'all in mind too. So, no child left behind. There's no child left behind. She's done miracles on me. You know, doing the miracles. Man, I think Brother Crumb is about to perform a miracle. About to open up some doors. The usual suspects are in the building. Yes, we are the usual suspects. We are the usual suspects of what's truth, balance, freedom, justice, order, reciprocity, love, abundance. Health is the wealth. You know, wealth is the longevity. Y'all already know. Today's topic. You got the share screen?
Yes, sir.
Autumn.
All right, boom. Let me add this in here. Let me first and foremost, y'all already know who this brother is. But without any further ado, we're gonna give him the introduction. Let him introduce himself to the peoples.
Peace and love, family. It is I, your humble brother Crumb, the master student of Crumb TV. I want to thank everybody for chiming in, people who are here now, the usual suspects, all of the love gang. Thank you to Reverend Rance Dunbar, otherwise known as the Chakra Doctor. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here as always.
Somebody said that shirt fire. What that shirt hitting for?
Yeah, this is actually a brother of mine I grew up with. He makes shirts like this. It's really dope shirts. I don't even know who this is on the shirt. He's like, yo, he's in his hot. Like, all right. But
yeah, that shirt looking kind of frosty, you know. And we had to ask, to my humble brother Crumb, we got the Crumb Snatchers in the building. We got Team Crumb Snatcher in the building. Humble Uncle Crumb, you understand? We got the people in the building. We got the No Child Left Behind. We got the kids in the building. We got the goats in the building. The goat gang is in the building. We see y'all. We see y'all over here in Aquarius and Capricorn and stuff. Y'all over here thugging it out. But Mars in the building too. Though we got this Scorpio. We got this Aries shit going on, and Mars was like Aries was like the only god that was able to stand up to Zeus and not die. The god of war. One of the smallest planets in the solar system, which most powerful. Big thing come in small packages, and that's what we're about to talk about. The big thing that comes in small packages and the small thing that come in big packages. With this package that we about to give you guys, and we about to add this to the screen, and we're gonna add that to the stream, and here we go, man. It is what it is, and me and Crumb about to get it in there. We about to let's go.
Absolutely. So,
well, hold on. Go back to that thumbnail. The Statue of Liberty is Lucifer. Can you tell the people, what inspired and what motivated you to make such a powerful PowerPoint? Wow, powerful PowerPoints. Ain't that something?
Yeah. Lots of powerful points in here. I got to be honest. I'm not one of those people who are just naturally tapped in. I'm one of those people like, I'll see it, but I'm going to be one of the last one to see it. And when it hits me like a ton of bricks. So this right here was one of those things where I never thought too much about the Statue of Liberty. I never been there. It wasn't a big deal to me. But then when somebody pointed out, hey, that's Lucifer, I was like, what? Come on. You're going to have to really bring some solid evidence to even, make that make sense. So this is how it was presented to me. So somebody said, hey, there's a picture of Lucifer. And if you look closely, it's almost the same picture as the Statue of Liberty. I looked into that picture. That's not just a regular picture. That picture of Lucifer was a famous picture. It was already famous, but it became famous when Rothschild, this guy right here, I forgot his first name, but his last name is Rothschild. Jacob Rothschild and Marina Abramovic. She's the spirit cook.
Abramovich, yeah, Abramovich. She is lead head satanic priestess, of the Illuminati. She got, you see pictures with her and Jay-Z, pictures with her and Marilyn Manson, pictures with her and Kanye West, pictures with her and all the top magicians in the game. So it's no wonder that she's kicking it with, she's kicking it with the low down dirty scumbag Rothschild, It's no wonder she's kicking it with the, the low levels.
Right. It only makes sense. And I just wanted to show that because some people will say, hey, Crumb, if this, let me delete this to focus your attention. This right here, you're only showing half the picture. That's not the same pose. And that's fine. It's not the same pose. Because if you look at the whole picture, that whole picture is like, okay, that's not the same pose. It's just kind of like maybe Photoshop. However, upon further review, if you look closely at the faces, that's not the same pose, but it's the same face. Right. So now let me.
Remember, and it don't have to be the same exact identical pose, people.
Correct.
That's nobody. When somebody plagiarizes something, let's understand. When something is plagiarized or when something is borrowed and remixed, it is never exactly the same. That's why it's a remix or a remake. It is the same, but with slight variations and differences.
Very well said. Thank you. So I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, doctor. So there's going to be another picture of Lucifer. And if you look at this other reference in terms of an artistic depiction of Lucifer, this is another picture that bears a striking resemblance to the Statue of Liberty. I'll just read this real quickly. It says, Lucifer, occult symbolism of the Statue of Liberty. Revelations 22:16. I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. This is Jesus' words, not mine. I'm going to present you the occult symbolism of the so-called Statue of Liberty. In the first part, I'll reveal to you why it is the statue of a male figure, not of a woman, and the occult meaning of his head. So, of course, the forehead. This is one of the most important gender markers. Look at the ridge of the bone that runs right across the forehead, just above the eyes. It is often referred to as brow bossing. It is usually far more pronounced than males. In fact, many genetic women have almost no discernible brow bossing at all, to where she almost looks like Hello Kitty. Remember, Hello Kitty has a pronounced head, is a big forehead, but it's not like a man's forehead. This is how women, a lot of cute women have big heads.
Somebody said it looked like Trump. Oh, it's
cool. Ooh, you teaching. I
Damn.
see it.
I see it.
That.
I can see that. That motherfucker do look like Trump, bro.
Yeah, all day.
Hey, bro. This nigga, hey, bro. All right, yeah. I'm going to leave that alone.
Well, let me just say this real quick, just in case the family doesn't know what we're looking at. This is a picture of the Statue of Liberty with just the face before it was actually put on. So you would say, oh no, but what about the breast? Well, let's just analyze the face just for a moment, like the doctor and I are doing. So I'll just finish reading. Also, men's foreheads are more often backwards sloping, while women tend to be more vertical. The bossing above the eyes is called the orbital rim, and is made of solid bone, but the bulge towards in the middle of the brow ridges covers the usually hollow area of the frontal sinus. So, you're going to see this in pictures of cave. Oh, Elvis. Somebody said Elvis. I saw that.
Yeah, somebody said Elvis, man. That nigga do look, hey, I'm telling you. And remember, they always be saying how all black people look alike.
Bro, Love Gang right now is all the way tapped in. Shout out to the listening audience. Clearly, the family is because I didn't even catch those two. So shout out to y'all. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you.
Is Donald Trump and Elvis related?
Now we have to ask. We have to, because we know that bloodline that Donald Trump comes from.
Because we know that bloodline that Obama comes from. Obama connected to all of them.
Come on. The eyebrows. Female eyebrows generally sit a little higher than male eyebrows, and they usually have a thinner and more arched shape, mainly due to plucking. We're going to see where these are masculine eyebrows. The nose. It tends to be smaller, shorter, and have a narrow ridge, and nostrils, narrower ridge and nostrils than the male one. Also, female noses often have a straighter and more concave profile and tend to be blunter, like a button nose, and more upturned at the tip. Men's, at least amongst Caucasian women, respectively. Men's are more often humped and less turned up. So based off this real basic description of how a man's profile in terms of his nose, this is not a woman's nose. Moving forward, the female cheeks. It tends to be fuller and more rounder than male ones. Men often have quite hollow cheeks. This is because their cheeks carry less fat. The distance between the top lip and the base of the nose, it is usually longer in males, where a woman's mouth is relaxed and more slightly open. She usually shows a few of her upper teeth. I think that MM is a typo. Let me just, I'm a grammar Nazi. This is considered attractive and also lends a youthful appearance to the face. In fine, a female face tends to be more rounded overall, with two rounded corners of the hairline at the top of the head, the rounded chin. I'm not reading all of that. Let me just move on. So here's the juicy stuff, doctor. And this is where I really wanted to skip to, because I know you're going to tear this thing apart. Creator of the Statue of Liberty. In 1855, remember, slavery ended in 1865. In 1855, but anyway, in 1855 and 1856, Bertholdi traveled in Egypt. The trip sparked Bertholdi's interest in real-life colossal sculptures. The world famous statue was presented as a gift in 1884 from French Masons of the Grand Orient to their Mason brothers in the United States. The statue was designed by well-known French Freemasons sculptor Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, displaying the hidden hand of Freemasonry in this image. Let me pass the mic to you, doctor. Let me just say this one thing. If you could bring you and I back on the screen.
Yeah. Hold on. I got you covered.
So I'm sure you've heard people say the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France to America. Well, I looked into it because I just assumed that. I never researched it. I just heard people say it. So when I finally researched it, the reality is the Statue of Liberty is not a gift from the French government to the American government. The reality is the Statue of Liberty is a gift from one Masonic lodge in France to another Masonic lodge in America. And I'll say this, and then I really want to hear what you got to say. I brought this particular information to a European Mason, respectively, and he became upset. He denied it. He didn't have anything to lean on. But I was like, what is your issue with the information? I'm not attacking Masons. I'm just setting the record straight. And it was almost as if it was some type of secret. What say ye, doctor?
Well, when you get into the knowledge of, the sons that are practicing Ma's, Ma's law, because that's what that, if you're a Mason, I mean, you're a son of Ma, and we know that the sons of Ma, remember, the sons of Ma, we create, right? And so y'all make sure y'all get these likes up and put this on people's timeline. Every like puts it on other person's timeline. Y'all feed the algorithm and y'all make sure this get on other people's timeline. But when you go on the internet real quick and you go Google like the Elvis Presley Donald Trump relation, you might run into some things. You know what I'm saying? But getting into the statue, we have to understand that what is a statue? Remember, a statue is in our court system. Okay, people. When you go and Google, see, let's go, man. Y'all got to get to these definitions of these words, because if y'all just think it's just a statue, but we're gonna go to a statue, right? Versus the criminal got statue, and then they got statue, right? So we're gonna go to statue, the one that is in whatchamacallit. That's right there, the Statue of Liberty. And we're gonna see what it's talking about. It says a carved or cast figure of a person, animal, especially one that is life-size or larger. All right, so first and foremost, you ready for this? The first thing and remember, this is coming out of the Oxford Dictionary, people. If you ain't got something that can beat the Oxford Dictionary, don't talk to me. This is Oxford Dictionary that Google, that Google algorithm is dealing with when it comes to these definitions. right? And they claim it on every single definition you look up, right? And the first thing it letting me know is a person or animal. And it brought me back into that old proverb when it says, you know, God is man and man is God, right? And know thyself. And when you actually, I always look at certain stuff. This is that thing that we went through, Crumb, with the Giants, bro. It's keep bringing me back to these goddamn Giants, man. Every time we talk about a subject, that subject always bumps into the foot of a giant, always bumps into the leg of the Giants, always, and them Giants gonna either be fucking reptiles or some big, large black people. And the statues, the carvings that we cast for these persons, because remember, they were persons, they were just big persons, but they were persons, right? In the person of, right? The persona, a persona that is a sentient, that is on law, arm, leg, arm, head. So we remember all law, all right? So we have to understand that this is sending a message first and foremost. This is a carving of a person. So we're cracking this code and trying to dissect who this person is. I'm looking at his face, right, and it kind of looked like that nigga right there, huh? If you bring it into his face, does it look like him? It kind of looked like him.
Yeah.
And I was like, could that be his way of like saying, hey, look, I built the, you know, Statue of Liberty like on some Da Vinci Code type shit? Or am I tripping? Let me know if I'm tripping. Now, if I'm tripping. But that nose, yeah, look at the fucking nose. Go back, look, Bob.
Yeah, I do see it in the nose. I got to be honest with you.
That nose is all right there in the nose. And then when you go in the eyes, look at his eyes. Look how the round crescents are under his eyes, just like on the statue. They got round crescents under his eyes. You know, he got the round crescents right there under his eyes, like on the statue. And I'm like, now with that mustache, you can't see the lip, the top lip, and how it relates to the bottom lip. But you can still see it. You can still see he has that little indent right there with his lip. And it almost kind of looked like this was his way of putting like kind of like himself in the statue. I don't know. Am I tripping?
You might,
because he was a Mason, right? So if he built the motherfucker, why not? You know, and he look, why not? And we all have done that right there. And when I was coming to school, I pledged allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic from which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We all remember that. Whoever went to school, you know, from my era, right?
Right.
So, man, this shit crazy to me, bro.
Facts. Liberty, enlightenment of the world. The Statue of Liberty was first and officially known as Liberty Enlightening the World. That was the official first name before it was known as the Statue of Liberty. But is now more commonly called, as we know, the Statue of Liberty. However, we must ask ourselves, is she truly enlightening the world? Or is she actually the goddess who keeps our illumination in the shadows as she holds the light above her torch, only to hide the truth from the profane or the uninitiated of the abyss, meaning the sea of humanity, who are kept in the dark? Shall I continue, or what would you?
Oh yeah, man. You I mean, what else is there to misunderstand?
Yeah.
They're giving you Venus, man. Today Friday too is Venus Day.
Oh wow, you tapped in. That's right.
It's Venus Day, and we're talking about Venus right now, man. Like, you know, because you remember, you know, Lucifer is one of the names that they call Venus, the light of the world.
Yes, sir.
And Jesus, remember Iesus, right? Jesus come from Iesus, the Greek, right? And so now we're talking about, you know, remember they call Jesus the light of the world, aka the light bearer. And he just said in in Revelations, he just said from your PowerPoint in the Bible verse that he is the bright morning star. So Jesus, Lucifer, Statue of Liberty. Remember, with liberty and justice for all. Remember, you know, and so it's going back into that. It's like they're it's like it's making mockery of it, and at the same time while gaining the power of it at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can see here liberty is a feminine aspect, just like justice, Lady Justice with the Libra scales of justice, or Ma'at with the Libra scales of justice. We see these divine feminine aspects being liberty and justice. So yeah, you're absolutely right with liberty and justice for all. The light bearer. Lucifer is a female entity, otherwise known as Lucy, light bearer, son of the morning. Venus in the morning sky before sunrise, name Deanna, and to bear, like to bear children. Lucifer in Latin means light bearer or light bringer.
And children are little bitty lights coming out of the wombs of females.
Correct. As he who bears or shows the light, spiritual knowledge which can be referred to as light or enlightenment. The Statue of Liberty holds a torch that represents light to lead, like
Is
showing.
is it enlightenment or enlightenment? Ooh.
Oh, you're teaching, like showing the way. So she bears the light. So we can see here where, in a Masonic sense, the liberty of justice is the light bearer or the light bringer. So we can see here the old architect. I'm sorry, the old illustration before they actually made the Statue of Liberty, and this is what it looked like. That a shining crown. So those thorns are light rays. They're not thorns. They're light rays on her head.
Ray is a Ra.
Teach. Lady Liberty is goddess. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. Lady Liberty is goddess Columbia.
Now, see, that's just some plagiarism there, though, Crumb. Look at that shit, bro. If y'all gonna depict who Lady Liberty is, make sure she comes in a skin tone called deep melanin or something. Because we see the Pope worshiping the Black Madonna. Now why they hating on her? Now why they hating on her when it comes to the Statue of Liberty? I'll never know. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. And I think, well, first let me just say this to the family. This picture of this, let me just delete this to focus the family's attention. This picture, that's for a movie. A lot of times when the doctor and I go over movies, it's not what you think it is. A lot of these things are symbolism. They're tapping into something deeper. And I've said this, and I know the doctor has propagated this many of occasions. America operates on occult science. A lot of their stuff is not just random or just because it's cute. It's a deeper meaning. Like even us doing this on today, which is Friday, that's not just coincidence, family. There's a deeper meaning to these things. Nonetheless, if you didn't want to say anything, I'll continue, Doc.
Continue, my brother.
Lady Liberty is goddess Columbia. Columbia is the female national personification of the United States. It's a historical name applied to the Americas, or the New World, or the 13 colonies.
Remember, Columba is a constellation, y'all.
Come on. That originated from Christopher Columbus. The association has given rise to names like the District of Columbia, which is the U.S. capital. It's not a state. Or Hail Columbia, unofficially national and official vice presidential anthem, and the Canadian province of British Columbia. Images of the Statue of Liberty, or Liberty Enlightening the World, erected in 1886, right around the time that slavery ended, or the Civil War ended, whatever, replaced Columbia as the female symbol of the United States around 1920, although Lady Liberty was seen as an aspect of Columbia. So we know the Statue of Liberty came later. However, we know that these things are based off something else. It's not an original idea, it's an evolution of this divine feminine principle, where it starts off as Columbia. A lot of the,
And remember Columbia or Columba is the name of it means, is Latin for dove.
teach.
So, you ever wonder why you ever wonder why our churches are heavily fixated on the white dove. And it did. And remember, Columba is a constellation, y'all. I mean, this shit goes deep, man.
Come on.
If you just break your mind open back and break your mind open into that childlike state where you can understand, what one might consider a concept that can only be seen in science fiction or something like that, or a movie.
Right.
But in actuality, it's really reality, and they show it to you in movies to actually, pre-program you before they show you, so that you can program yourself to it. But sorry.
No. You teach it all the way. And those things are so important to say. I think a lot of times we know so much that we don't know anything. And that's for me being a master student. For as much as I know, I realize how much I don't know.
And that's what make that. And remember, nowhere, nothing, don't know are realms. When you know that you don't know, you actually know it all.
And the man who knows nothing is the one who knows everything, and the man who knows everything is a know-it-all, and everybody hates a know-it-all.
Right. And look at y'all. I wanted to just show y'all this right quick. Boom. That's that black statue that they get that from, man. I had to go find it.
And it's a female.
It's a female. It's a real deal. But this is where they get that from. They get that from us, y'all. Everything that they get it from us. He ain't create shit. That nigga plagiarized that shit and put some old rainbow booty boy shit on that shit. You feel me? But as you can see, the original is a female and she's black. Okay? So this is what our people did when it came to liberty and justice. They put it in a black woman's hand. All right? Liberty and justice ain't never came from no nigga. Why? Because we the ones that create war, and we the ones that protect the liberty and justice. We the fucking hitmen, nigga. We came to destroy. We came to motherfucking regulate. Nigga, you heard the song back in the gap with Dr. Dre and them, Regulators. You know what I mean? Remember them song Regulators? That's who we are. We the regulators. You know what I mean?
Factory. Diadem. The copper and steel statue wears a crown with 7 spikes. Some say the 7 spikes represent the 7 seas and 7 continents of the world. Others say they represent the rays of the sun and show that Lady Liberty is divine. This is coming from traveltips.usa today. The article is called "What Do the 7 Spikes of the Statue of Liberty?"
Damn, travel tips. What fucking travel tips about to give y'all the game. You feel me? Like even the this shit is like common, like it's common knowledge to certain people, it's just not to others. You know what I mean?
Well, the Statue of Liberty is a popular tourist attraction.
It sure is.
So like when you go to New York, you gotta travel. Like, hey, I'm in New York. Hey, USA Today, their travel section tips says you should probably visit Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. Whatever. But that crown is called a diadem. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but whatever.
Yeah, diadem.
Lucifer, since he is an angel and has no need of gender, he can represent both or neither genders, meaning that Lucifer can be represented by both male and female physical qualities like Baphomet, who represents qualities of both genders. The lady of the Statue of Liberty is the Roman goddess Libertas, the Roman version of Ishtar.
That look like Libra, Libertas. If you rearrange that,
yes, sir,
and put that R on that A, as Libra. Sorry.
Come on now. Come on. Libertas, I just want to say it one more time, is the Roman version of Ishtar, for those who may not know. And Libertas, just like Ishtar, is the goddess of harlots that they talk about in Revelations, the whore. Does anybody, with all due respect, if you are familiar with the whore in the book of Revelations, can you please type in Love Gang? In Revelations, the star is a woman, and they this is in the book of Revelations. This Crumb, you always call her name. That's not me. That's what the Bible says. She's the whore in type in Love Gang. So anyway,
Yeah.
Ishtar, Libertas, this is the goddess of harlots or the whore of Babylon, talked about in the book of Revelations. Moving on, I'm sorry. Often worshipped by pagans in biblical time, Ishtar is also
So
associated.
basically, so hold on. Basically, you're saying that the Statue of Liberty represents because remember the Statue of Liberty represents America, and that's basically saying so America is the whore of Babylon.
Right. Now, remember, when we dealing with this particular energy, we saw the divinity in it, but the world hated it. That's where we get what's Jesus' baby mama name?
You're talking about
Mary
Mary?
Magdalene.
Yeah, we get Mary Magdalene from Mayat. I'm sorry, from ISIS, and us, offset ISIS from Egypt.
And we know Mary was with respectively, and I'm not saying these things derogatorily, family. Please don't take offense to this. This is just, Mary was the whore by the well, the prostitute.
Oh, you talking about Mary? You talking about Mary Magdalene?
Yes, sir, Mary Magdalene. If you
Oh
look
yeah, Mary Magdalene. Yeah.
Yes, sir. If you look up Magdalene, that's not a last name. Magdalene is a city.
Yeah, Magdalene, and remember Magdalene also. I keep telling people, man, like when you look at the perversion of what the European has done to our black heritage, it's a wonder how it even made it to last this far. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Because you just see it all through it. It's like, wow, when you read every word that they have, and you see words like with Venus, that's sun. The nus, that's the sun spelled backwards, and Ra. You see, Sa and Set and all kind of stuff and all of the words, and you're like, all right, we see where everybody get this shit from. It's just like, how do we claim it? Like, how do we claim it back? How do we use this for an advantage of power?
Well, knowledge is power, and I think once we come into the understanding, we'll automatically use it. I was telling the family on my platform a couple years back, if the president wages war, he's going to wear a red tie. Like those things, though, we may think in our community, we may think those are little things, they're minuscule, they have nothing to do with nothing. But when you do certain rituals, there are protocol. When he goes to wage war, he's going to wear a red tie, and there's more often than not, it's going to be on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because these are just channeling
So,
energy.
and remember, because old boy said that too. What his name is? The billionaire Chase, that J.P. Morgan. He said millionaires don't practice astrology, billionaires do.
Come on.
And he's not lying. I've met 2 billionaires, and both of them believe heavily, so heavily deep in astrology. It's insane. It's wonder like, damn, you got $1 billion believing in that shit.
Yeah.
And
makes you think.
It makes you go back and think like, oh man, it was just crazy enough to believe it and pull it off,
Yeah. Often worshipped by pagans in biblical times, Ishtar is associated with the planet Venus, as the good doctor said. Light bearer can also be represented by the planet Venus, since Venus is seen just before and after the sunrise and sunset. Venus therefore bears or shows the way to the light of the sun. The sun can represent God in this case. Interestingly, the planet Venus is also called the morning star. In the Bible, Lucifer is referred to as the morning star and son of the dawn. Venus also happens to be quite the most hellish planet in our solar system. But that's just a thought.
No.
Here is a picture of a statue. I apologize, I don't have the cliff notes, but I found it to be very interesting because the statue has the serpents from the caduceus, or like the healing sign for hospitals. It has the wings like Ma'at. It has, let me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has the 7 spikes or the 7 rays coming from her
Because remember, your
crown.
7 rays are your 7 chakras.
7. There
Rays,
you go. Come
that's your
on.
7 Ras, right? Your 7 Ras, what are your 7 chakras? All right.
Oh, you teaching. Come on.
Yeah, and remember, and these are very important. It's all wrapped up in one. You have your Kundalini, your dragon.
Okay.
Remember, so it shows you that we come from the dragons. Look
Yes,
where
sir.
it starts. Shows you that we come from the motherfucking dragons.
Yep.
Period. Boom. From
Period.
the dragons came what? Them black women's.
Yep.
That's the
Come on.
wings, them angels, them angels with the wings, them black women. And then from the black women's came what? Those rays you see. The chakras, the divine masculinity, the divine masculine. You understand? And they put it all right there. They put the Trinity right there. Dragon, they put dragon, male and female. You feel me?
Absolutely.
And we all, because we all, like you tell people, we all come from that dragon, bro.
And she's wearing an Ankh necklace, but I'll move on.
Oh, right there. Just just put that in the. That's just like icing on the cake. And she's very dark.
Yeah. Oh my. How did I not mention that? Thank you.
How did I not? She's a black woman.
Basically.
Yeah.
Ishtar. This is coming from GreatFallsTribune.com. And I just read the sources because I don't want the family to say I'm making this up, or Crumb is going to the Black Power website, or whatever the case may be. Or tinfoilhat.com. These are just regular sources. If you tie them together, you'll get to see how I can come to the conclusion, or anyone can come to the conclusion, that Statue of Liberty is Lucifer. Let me read this without further ado. Ishtar is known as the mother of harlots because prostitution was part of her religious practices. She was worshipped as Astarte in the Middle East. Scriptures call her Ashtoreth. Thank you, doctor. And she was known in Latin as Libertas, or liberty. So when I read these things, I don't want, Crumb, I see how you be connecting shit in your mind. No, I'm not. I'm just showing the points to say, hey, it's not, this is not a beautiful mind. Anyway, liberty in ancient times was associated with sexual freedom and temple prostitution.
And now, we know right here, and we got it in the book right here, an African Center response to the LGBTQIA. We know that their sexual freedom was with a whole bunch of little boys in Rome and in Greek and in the Latin world. So this has been a practice of the Latin world, the Greek world, the English world, the European world, that the sexual freedom and temple prostitution that they was doing, as you can see, that looked like a little boy right there, right? And so always remember, when it comes to the Roman, right, and it comes to their culture, it is their sexual freedom and their prostitution is heavily depicted. That's why I love this book. You got to get this book, Crumb. Oh, Crumb. You the one that introduced me to this book, Crumb.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got to get this book, man. Olatunji Mwamba. He breaks it down, bro. He scholarly work, man. And
indeed,
it's crazy how we're talking about this, and like I was just reading this part, reading this in whatchamacallit, how the sexual freedom that they intend and they mean, right, is the one that you see and pumped on your TV on Empire and all these, men tonguing men in their mouth and wearing all these dresses and shit, Hollywood, and doing all of this shit. And you thinking liberty and justice for all, is talking about some regular freedom, like, being free to speak and being free on the Constitution. And they're talking about some motherfucking prostitution and sex.
Well, and I really hate to beat a dead horse, but I kind of don't. I love it. But remember, who was Jesus' baby mama?
The hoe.
So this is kind of right up the biblical alley. Well,
remember, you can't. I keep telling people that they're one and the same. The hoe or the housewife. Remember, she was just a long-term contracted hoe.
Okay.
And you gotta understand, you can't have a hoe without a house. You can't have a housewife without a house.
Come on.
You understand me? So I've been telling people, who run the world. What's your blood type? Hoe. Last time I checked, O.
You so funny.
Yeah, a nigga blood type is O. So
That's right.
we all some. Anybody who got O negative, O positive blood type, we all some hoes in this bitch. You feel a hoe in reverse spell backwards is what, y'all? Oh,
Oh,
oh. So we know who's being whored out because now let's get into that layer of racism that lies under it. And who's being whored out? The black woman. Who's being whored out? The black man. Who's being whored out and molested and used for their melanin? The black child. So we know who's on the menu and what whore is us. You feel me? So that's the one thing I always, get, man. Let's understand that this goes deeper than just liberty, right? It goes into, wait a minute, what is their intention of liberty? But I'm sorry, libertas, sorry.
no, you're good. Absolutely. You was tapped in all the way. I think for a moment there you were even levitating. So yeah, libertas, Latin for liberty or freedom, is the Roman goddess and personification of liberty. She became a politicized figure in the late Republic, featured on coins supporting the popular faction and later those of the assassins of Julius Caesar. And
And,
and
and remember, we're coming up on. I think we're coming up on the last day of the celebration of Julius. Remember, Julius Caesar. The assassination of Julius Caesar started on the 15th, and it ended on the 24th or the 25th.
right,
And
beware the
so
eyes of March.
yeah, it's called Eyes. The Eyes. That's why it's called March Madness. This is what y'all March Madness is
March
really all about,
March
y'all.
Madness is when they killed Caesar.
March Madness is all about the madness that went on when Julius Caesar got slain.
Correct.
Okay. But y'all think that's just some basketball though, huh?
Nope.
See,
And,
y'all
and,
don't
and,
be understanding this shit magic, bro.
and what the if and I love to beat horses and don't let me lie to you because I love to do it. But yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse. But yeah, the doctor already told you in the beginning, these things, America operates off occult science. It's not
Period.
random, folks. Oh, March Madness is just sports. No, give them bread and circus and they won't revolt. They got this down to a science. But let me continue, doctor. Is that okay?
Sure thing.
Absolutely. Helios. Oh yeah. I want to say this about this one. Count the spikes, folks. There's 7 spikes on both sides. That's 2 different. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we can go forward and let's see this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is broke. 6, 7. Helios is the sun god in Greek mythology, together with Selena, the moon goddess, and Eos, which is dawn. Helios steers a sun chariot across the sky. He takes 12 steps, 12 hours in a day. He corresponds to the soul of Roman mythology and was equated with Zeus and then later with Apollo, with whom he shares the name Phoebus. Phoebus. Thank you, doctor.
And remember, Helios turned into holy. This is where holy, you get the holy on your Bible from.
Correct.
Okay. And then remember, when you look at Celine, this is why y'all buying them bags. Everybody will buy Celine bags, Celine, and they sacrifice Celine Dion. Not Celine Dion, the girl, the Spanish girl, Selena. They smashed her, right? They sacrificed her to the moon goddess, Selene. Okay.
Correct.
And Eros, remember, or Eos, right?
Right.
When you go and look at everything is sun worship. This is why you got something called a soul, and that soul is called a chakra because your soul is the sun, and the sun is your soul, right? Your chakras, and that heritage is what? 7 major chakras going up your spinal cord. Remember, look at the first two letters in rays. It's Ra. You're gonna always see this hinted in all of the magic. So they still make sure that they link it to its earliest date. They make sure that they do not leave it out of there. They're going to make sure that black energy, that black foundation stays in the whitewashing somewhere.
Correct. He corresponded to the soul of Roman mythology and was equated with Zeus and then later with Apollo, with whom he shares the name Phobos, the bright and shining one. He wore a crown of 7 rays, just like the doctor said, and wielded a scepter of light. I want to say this, Doc, and then I'll pass the mic. A good teacher does not tell you what to see. They can only tell you where to look. And I've done my best just to show the pictures. I'm not saying these pictures are the same or they're connected in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That's for the listening audience and for those who are going to catch this later to decide. But I am curious, Doc. What say ye? Do these pictures have any resemblance to you? Are they connected? Do they look like the same in any way, shape, form, or fashion?
Yeah, man. It's as above, so below. It's Baphomet 100%. Trillion percent, as above, so below. And people think Baphomet is evil, and people think evil is bad. So therefore, people don't understand life, and that's why they don't understand how to handle life. This is why they tell you if you're scared, go to church. Why? Because church is a safe haven for people who don't want to experience anything outside of the box. If you want to experience true freedom, you have to experience true power. But if you want to experience true power, you have to experience knowledge. And the great thing about knowledge is that it doesn't discriminate which person is bad or good. It only wants to be used. And whether you misuse it, abuse it, or properly use it, the knowledge will be used.
Come on.
All right. And so understanding the inception, right? Understanding that, listen, understanding this right here. You got to understand this right here. Look, understand this right here, and y'all gonna understand what they're doing. You got to understand what they're doing. Y'all got to go cop this book, and y'all got to go to understand what they're doing, bro. This is what they're doing. They're literally trying to turn everything into this. All right? And if they turn everything into this, then what that mean for your black ass? Yeah, what does that mean for what does that mean for your black outcome? I just want to know, the black people out there that's watching this, along with the Hispanic and the white people that's watching this. What do you think gonna happen when if everybody say, okay, we're gonna listen and we're gonna decide to go with the rainbow booty boys? What's gonna happen to our lineage? What's gonna happen to our heritage? What's gonna happen to our strength that made us who we are? I just want to know if can anybody tell me what's gonna happen?
Good question. I want to know as well. So before I go past this, I just want to kind of just point to the obvious. Hopefully, they all have the 7 rays. They're all holding up that scepter. The one on the far in the middle, the scepter is lost, but there was a scepter in his hand, and they're all stepping forward with their right foot, I believe that is. So I just want to kind of go and say that before I move to the next slide. But without further ado, the diadem in U.S. patent. The diadem is described as follows: the head with its classical yet severe and calm features is surmounted by the crown or diadem, from which radiates divergently 7 rays tapering from the crown and representing a halo. Here, a halo. Here is what the 7 rays represent. In the occult sciences, light is known as an emanation from God, the light which opened the eyes of Adam and Eve. The emanation or manifestation of divine light is divided into 7 rays, or the 7 manifestations of light, which are freedom, order, love, compassion, knowledge, wisdom, and harmony. What do you think, Doc?
And remember, these 7 rays are the 7 Ra's. Okay, remember Ra, your 7 chakras. Remember your Ra, right? Remember, because they told you about the Ka, they told you about the Ba, they even told you about the Sa, but everybody keep forgetting about the Ra.
Come on.
You ever wonder why everybody keep forgetting about the Ra? But the Ra is the one thing that we all see. We all need the most when it comes to those rays. If you look at those rays right there, those rays represent, I think 5 of the principles out of those rays. You can find that on the Moorish science star.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
And last time I checked, a star is a sun, and the sun has rays, rise, right?
Oh, you teaching? Come on.
And it's just this reoccurring theme
Yes, sir.
of how they keep taking our stuff and then remixing it and calling it a Bible, or remixing it and calling it,
Come on.
calling it the Quran. They're gonna take our old stuff and remix it and call it the Bhagavad Gita. We're gonna take it and remix it and call it the Kabbalah. And
Come on.
it's like you go to India and the Bhagavad Gita, they go Rasa, Baka, and everybody all through that motherfucker. If you want to talk about, come on, the Kabbalah, nigga. Last time I checked, the Ka and the Ba of Islam, that comes from Egypt.
Yep, come on.
The Ra, the Ka, the Sa, the Set, the all of the things that we use right now that we call religion. You show me one major religion that isn't completely riddled with Egyptian technology.
I can't. I'm sorry.
All of the major religions, no matter which one it is, they're all infused with this fucking Egyptian technology. And here we is thinking, oh yes, there's a being named Lucifer and the being named and the being named Satan and shit. Nah, nigga, you know how old this shit is? You know them dudes' real name, you know them dudes' real identities. Shit so old, shit older than time. Matter of fact, Father Time, nigga, that's set, bro. Like, come on, man.
Come on.
Niggas can't even even if a nigga like me saying F Yahweh because I'm riding with some magic that's on some war type shit. But guess what? Don't make no mistake, that nigga is fucking God, nigga. A motherfucking creator God, nigga. So you got y'all gotta understand the levels of this shit, bro. Like, even though I might have my belief system, understand my belief system are the truth. And when you're talking about these beings, whether it's Set, whether it's fucking Ra, whether it's Hathor, whether it's motherfucking, Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever you want to call it, it's the identities of old black gods, right? Our old ancient reptile gods. Remember, because they say Ra, you look at Ra, you look at all of the Egyptian gods in the pantheon, and all of them got some type of reptilian ancestry. Through the waters of Noon. Remember the waters of Noon? She's the Kundalini dragon. She's the two dragons that's circling around your spine.
Come on.
That's feeding through the chakras, bro. Like, this shit is old black folk shit. And they be like, oh yeah, man, we gotta just tap back into. But guess what? I found the way to tap back into it, y'all. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's borrowed from black folk and stolen from black folk or plagiarized, hidden, whatever you want to call it, right? Don't mean the power of it still not in it. So all you gotta do is these very fucking books that are holding the knowledge that you're scared to go to. You see, you scared to read books on Satan. You scared to read books on different gods, and you're scared to read occultic books, and you're scared to read, books of differences of opinion. That if you're so strong in your Christian belief, you'll be able to read any book and still stay a fucking Christian, nigga. If you that strong in your belief, nigga. See? But the Bible said the truth shall make you free, and the Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth, not advanced, motherfucker. So we got to understand, we talking about advanced instructions for leaving earth, and now we talking about Abel. But if you want to understand, Cain and Abel was Can, one is Can, one Can, and one Abel. See, but we missing up words, just not looking at. Wait a minute, man. These are old principles that we just lost. Most of our names got it. Come on, how many of y'all name y'all daughter Shaniqua? Tyrone. All of these things are old names that what people have whitewashed and turned into this shit right now. But if you look at it, man, every single thing that white people got, they stole it from us. So the only way you can actually get the power is by not being afraid to go into the white version of it and take it back. Easy. Yeah, go get you some white books. Go get you some books by white folks that's talking about your black heritage and steal it back. That's all you do, because knowledge is the power. I'm sorry.
No. As always, you hitting on all cylinders. You were talking about the 7 rays that crown, I wanted to, well, the diadem, I wanted to go back into that one more time. It says the 7 rays are said to be 7 major types of light substance, or spirit or matter, or waves or particles, that compose the created universes. The 7 rays locally originate within the solar logos, i.e., the consciousness of the divine being, or the sun. I'm sorry, of the sun. They have their ultimate origin within the mind of God. Each of the 7 rays is believed to be associated with a different kind of occult energy and a different color. This symbol, their symbol is the rainbow. So these 7 colors, these 7 rays, so on and so forth. Moving on. The statue versus the platform. So, just kind of going from top to bottom. The Statue of Liberty, this is from Herix.com. The article is called Lady Liberty, a gift for the people by the people. The Statue of Liberty cost approximately $250,000 to build, in $1880 during that, whatever the number was then. This is probably the price now, and was paid for by the French people. This is not me, family. That's why I love these PowerPoints. I'm not saying this. Not the French government. Oh, Crumb, the Statue of Liberty was given to America by the French government. No, it wasn't. It was from the French people through a creative fundraising effort that we recognize today as crowdfunding. Oh, you heard of this new thing called crowdfunding and GoFundMe? And no, it's not new. The first time they did that was with the Statue of Liberty, because
what's that proverb? Where that proverb come from when they say nothing new under the sun?
Come on,
it's the Bible, huh?
Come on.
All right.
So, with that said,
hold up. If you go back, one thing I just noticed too. Please. If you go back to that picture at the bottom, it says "Lady Liberty, a gift for the people, by the people," and the person, the .com hero Heru.
Oh,
Heru.
that's what it says.
Heru.
Hero X.
Heru X. So it always gonna point back to Egypt, y'all.
And the doctor,
I'll show you Egypt and everything.
He's completely right. The word hero comes from the word, the word hero comes from the word Heru. Heru was an archetype. This is where you're going to get your Hercules story from. This is where you're going to get your Gilgamesh.
Remember, before it was Hercules, it was Heracles.
Right, Heracles.
Yep. So Heru was the root word of it, and then when the Romans got it, they changed it to Herc.
Right, they changed it. It was originally Heracles. That is that is all wise, right, and exact. So, also the story of Gilgamesh. These are all the same archetype, stemming from Heru, or the original hero. Shall we continue, Doctor?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, continuing on with the statue versus the platform. This is coming from mentalfloss.com. The article is titled "How Joseph Pulitzer Saved the Statue of Liberty." Mental Floss. So it reads, America was on the hook for designing and constructing the pedestal at an expense of about $250,000, or about $6.55 million in 2019. That's a grip. The American Committee for the Statue of Liberty, which was tasked with raising funds for the construction of the monument, raised a little over half of the funds. So the government was like, listen, we're not going to take part in this. You guys are going to have to figure this out yourself. So what we're seeing is how this whole thing comes to be. So for those who don't know, the Statue of Liberty sits on a island, a platform, or whatever, which is an 11-point star. And it reads, the Statue of Liberty sits on a tiny island called Miniseus. Thank you. In the Indian language, meaning small island. Her foundation is an 11-pointed star, which is called a hendecagram. Hendecagram.
Yep, you got it right. Hendecagram.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And let me just shout out the doctor. By the time our children
get to hold on, before you shout out, Man, y'all make sure y'all hit them likes up, man. Make sure y'all get the likes up and put this on people's algorithm. I'm sorry, Crumb.
No. Actually, here, let me just go because I'm actually on the live. Let me go over here. Okay, I already hit the like button. Also get comments up as well, family. That engagement is so important. So yeah, with that said, Doc, oh yeah, let me get I'll give a shout out to the doctor real quick. By the time our children, I said this way before I even met the doctor. By the time our children get to 5th grade, their European counterparts know approximately 10,000 more words than our children know. So, it's really important to be about the language, to be about the spell, to be a wizard, to have your children be whiz kids. These are plays on words, but this is all a part of the magic. You got to be able to read. So, one thing that makes the doctor a master magi, a wise man, is because he's about the literature. He's about the grimoires. He's about the books. And I think that's probably for me, one of the biggest things I take away from him in terms of people growing on each other. I love, what I admire about him is his scholarly dedication. And I think if the family comes over here and takes anything, which there's a lot to take, Miracle Food, FCA Yoga, dope in content, features, everything. But that's that part that I take, amongst the other things, is his dedication to these words, to this knowledge. I love the way. And one more thing, Doc, one more thing. Y'all, he shut him down. No, family, it's called adding value. And not only adding value, it's called keeping me honest. The chakra doctor shut you down. No, he kept me honest, a-hole. This is how brothers and sisters are supposed to work with each other. You're supposed to keep each other honest. He is strong where I am weak. He is his brother's keeper. All right, I'm done beating that horse to death, Doc. All right, let me continue on. Unless you want to say something.
No, you good. You good.
Okay. Her foundation.
Yeah, we good, man.
The most sacred numbers of the occult are 369, of course, we all know that, 11, and of course the most infamous number 13, and multiples thereof. It represents the Kelipot. This literally means peels, shells, or husk of the tree of knowledge. In Jewish Kabbalistic cosmology, the Kelipot are metaphysical shells surrounding holiness. They are spiritual obstacles receiving their existence from God only in an external rather than internal manner. Something like an aura, folks. Your aura. I don't know what else you call an aura, but anyway.
Yeah, no, that's what you call it. No, remember, look at aura. Aura.
Ooh, okay. Keep me honest. That's right. 11-point star. This 11-pointed star and the number 11 are the representation of so-called evil. Now, the doctor said, and I agree 1,000,000%. In the Matrix, there is no such thing as good or evil. There is only cause and effect. We have to think in a more mature term and get rid of the spookology. But let me continue. It's a representation of what you call evil or impure spiritual forces in Jewish mysticism. So they're bad according to that belief system. One man's God is another man's devil. I digress. Which is adverse.
Yeah, because you got to remember, a lot of it is heavily racist against black people, and so a lot of the black principles are considered negative. So black magic is considered negative. Black sciences, it's considered a pseudoscience. Anything black, they try to put a negative connotation on it. When in actuality, black is the source of all positive or negative frequency and charges.
And I appreciate you bringing that degree of academia to it. Folks, we have to get rid of the spookism mentality that has plagued our people, where we subscribe to a boogeyman or a spook or things like that. Once you get rid of the fear aspect, you're gonna develop a passion for the knowledge, unbound. So moving on. If the statue represents an androgynous being What that represents is the balance of masculine and feminine forces within. The two forces of creation, this is all Kabbalah mysticism. Note that the 11 over 2 star polygon is used as a symbol for the Aleister Crowley Foundation, the 11-pointed star. Remember, when we're dealing with 11, we're dealing with duality as well.
And you're dealing with two phalluses.
Come on. Absolutely.
Look at when you deal with the 1 and the 0, that binary code.
Correct.
You're dealing with a womb and a motherfucker and a key that's going to enter into the womb.
Correct.
You're dealing with that 11. You make it. You got that's 2 dicks.
Now, these 2 ones, we're going to see them also as pillars. We saw the pillars within the Twin Towers. We saw the pillars in Masonic light, which is the 2 pillars in this particular picture: Boaz and Jephthah, severity and mercy. One is made of marble, the other is made of wood. One won't burn, the other one's going to float, depending on whatever. But nonetheless, let me just keep on going, family. When you're dealing with that 11, that 1, and that 1, those pillars. The kings of Edom placed on the 11-pointed star, representing the Qilaf and their 11 demonic rulers.
So that's the Qliphoth.
Qliphoth, thank you. Keep me honest. The kings of Edom were kings. Oh, matter of fact, family, if you love the way the doctor and I interact with keeping each other honest, can you type in #LoveGang? Let's get some comments in this, Jane. Can somebody give me a #LoveGang if this is how we should interact with keeping each other honest, adding value, and building each other up, even when we have to correct each other? Let me continue on. And when as soon as I'm done reading, I'm gonna type in LoveGang too. The kings of Edom placed on the 11-pointed star, representing the, say it one more time, Doctor. Qliphoth and their 11 demonic rulers. Kabbalah, Qliphoth, and Geotic magic.
And remember, y'all, we're doing that on Magic Class 410, the 72 demons of Goetia. So that's Goetic magic.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
And so but anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, but we're doing the 72 demons of Goetia April 10th for Magic Class. I'm showing them how to light code activate. And remember, when they talk about demon, these are demonic codes in your junk DNA, angel or angelic codes in your junk DNA. The kingdom of heaven is within the God, your Higgs boson particle dwells within the kingdom of heaven. That's in your pineal gland, called your third eye. The eyes are the windows to the soul. So your Higgs boson particle is the piece of God you call your soul. Understand that these are just codes, yin and yang principles. Once you understand that these lords, these demons, these angels, these dragons, these jinns, gnomes, fairies, ogres, and all of the other creepy crawlies that you may spook about, maybe you may fantasize about, all lives inside of you. And the minute you manifest the magic inside of you is the minute you be able to access the world of these magics, period. So understand that, man.
I couldn't have said it better myself. The kings of Edom were kings over the land before any Israelite king had conquered that land. Y'all know what land I'm talking about. Kabbalists associated these kings with the evil primordial worlds and 11 lords. So before you had Israel, Palestine, before you had the Good Samaritans, the tribe of Judah, any of those people before that, these were the primordial inhabitants of that land, so to speak. 11 is biblically seen as evil. Crumb, why you say it's evil? I'm not saying it. It's just kind of what the Bible insinuates. The 11 kings are in Genesis chapter 30, verses 40 through 43. In the Kabbalah, these kings correspond to the 11 demon rulers who govern the anti-worlds of the evil side. Doc, let me just take a moment and say that this could even be cowboys and Indians, where the Indians were considered bad guys. However, from the Indian perspective, the cowboys were the invaders, but I digress.
Of course.
Samuel,
Which is Lucifer's real name.
i.e., Satan, is mentioned as a ruler of Edom. The kings supposedly, before Jesus came up in that land doing all his stuff, the original gods, anyway, the kings supposedly belong to the emanation of the left side. Jews during the early Middle Ages used the terms kings of Edom to denote Christianity. Remember, the Jewish people don't believe in Jesus, which they believe had developed from the dark side. Oh, this whole Jesus thing, that was a fake savior, and that was evil, morning star, this and this and that, yada yada yada.
Yes, so somebody said Samael. Yes, Samael is on the tree of the Cliffoth. And when you look at the tree of the Cliffoth, Samael is known as the poison of God. And
Wow.
Samael is an agent of God. And Samael is who, everybody? Lucifer, Satan, or whoever you like to call the one who opposes and accuses. And when you go into deeper, Sa, that goes back into who? Set, right? So the original Lucifer is Set, but we have to understand that there are two sides to every light. Okay, so just like they got bright light, right? They got what primordial, or what you call dark or black light. Okay, the primordial dark black light, aka the chaotic waters, aka the triple black womb, aka nothingness. That's the real substance. That's the real. Remember, you can't have matter without antimatter. Matter comes from antimatter. Understand this, people. The reason why matter is able to exist because antimatter gave it the ability to do so. So this is why light comes from dark and not the other way around. This is why you got to put a seed in the ground, and the ground incubates the seed in darkness. This is why your organs are in darkness. But there's a little light flowing through all of that darkness. Now, when you look in the sky, the sky is black and they have stars, but the stars do not outshine the darkness.
Oh.
So understand that it's the darkness that gives everything its space-time continuum.
Right.
Okay? So if people just but if darkness has been demonized and relegated only to a physical standpoint, you won't be able to understand it because you've been programmed to think that dark is bad. This is why a lot of black people don't like their dark skin. This is why a lot of black people don't like the dark, the darkness in their, the blackness in their lives, or they gotta be called anything but black. Call me anything but black. That means something bad to the psyche of black folk. You feel me? But we have to understand. Oh, and they try to say, "Oh, I'm not going to be lack." Remember, the lacking of light is the essence of all.
Okay.
Remember this. The lacking of light is the essence of all. So understand that without the darkness, remember in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, and darkness was on the face of the deep. See, it has to. It's a beginning. You feel me?
Right.
So I want to look at the word evil. It's live spelled backwards.
Doctor, I was going to say, I actually had to part ways with you. We have 10 slides left. Let's do a part 2. This last slide was basically saying before the 12 tribes of Israel, there were the 11 kings of Edom, same land, different rulers. One came before the other.
Understand.
I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Love gang forever, family. I want to leave you the exact same way I came to you. I am your humble brother, Crumb. Peace and love. Love gang.
Love gang. Yeah. So, understanding that understanding that level of life, you got to understand, man. That's deep what he bringing. The Statue of Liberty, Lucifer, right? Shouts out to Crumb for keeping it real and coming through, and coming through on his busy Friday and dropping some jewels with the PowerPoint. Yeah, man, y'all gotta get off that black is bad stuff, man. A lot of y'all think black is bad, and that automatically goes to what you think about black people. because you're black. There's nothing more blacker than melanin, carbon 12. Go look. You can't get no blacker than melanin. You can't get no blacker than carbon 12. You can't get no blacker than black, my nigga. All energy, all frequency, all color, all vibration, all sound, all emanation, all light, all everything comes from black, our source. Ain't nothing blacker than carbon 12. You feel me? So that 11, those that remember the sun being the 12th, remember. So those 11 houses, and you got the sun being the 12, that's carbon 12. That's why it's black. That's why the evil, and remember, evil spelled backwards is live. Y'all gotta understand. Remember, what begins, so one is live, taking the L. Remember, that's that Freemason. Y'all be wondering when the Freemasons be throwing up, when they be throwing it up. They're throwing up the L. All right. But it also, remember, the seven, L7, that's a square, right? They showing y'all. So the oh yeah, what I'm about to say? Oh yeah, so the L in the beginning, you have it live. At the L at the end, it's evil. Right? You flip it. Just like with the word heart, take H from off the beginning of heart, put it at the end, and you have the word earth. Right? So it's a big play on words that we gotta remember, man. Look at this shit is black folks. So understand that. Even if you're a white person, man, go look. All of this shit points back to black people. It's like, okay, that's where that come from. All right, I ain't know. Let me dig deeper. Let me find out. Let me tap in. But you niggas so scared. Why I said that's why I said if you scared, go to church. If you scared, you gotta go to church, bro. Go to church, bro. Because the real world is black. The real world is black. The real world is black. Even the most blonde hair and blue eyed white person is a replica or a moderation of the original black. You feel me? Darkness. Remember, the no, they got something called eternal light. They got light that stays and don't never leave. Just like they got certain darkness that comes and goes, and they got certain light. Look, they got certain darknesses that can snuff out lights, and they got certain lights that can snuff out darknesses. But then then they got darkness that's so dark and light that's so bright that they can't do nothing to each other. They cancel out, and and that's where that yin and that yang energy come from. One cancels out the other. Can't get rid of each other. They're perfectly equal in their own rights. This is why there's no such thing as good versus bad. It's a holographic matrix illusion that your spirit is living inside of this primordial meat suit, right? The primordial meat suit. You're living in the primordial meat suit. While you're living in the primordial meat suit, you're going to be experiencing life. While you're experiencing life, a lot of that life is going to keep pointing you back to Ba, Ka, Sa, Ra, Ma, Wa, La, Na, huh? Ka, Cha, Da. What you talking about? Ya, huh? Za. What you talking about? Fa. Huh? What you talking about? It's gonna always keep bringing you back to the ah. Ah. Go to the doctor. The doctor say, ah. Open your mouth to eat. Ah. When you open your mouth to eat, om, so good. Hmm? You laugh. Ha. You scared, mama. Lady Gaga. All praises be to Jah Jah. Mm-hmm. You got Kaka. Oh, I'm Lala. Everybody got to call for their mama. And last time I checked, it was called the Il Nana. Every girl needs her papa. Niggas talking shit, they be on that rah-rah. Man. See? They said Jay-Z used to hang with a nigga named Tata. In New Orleans, when we meet a nigga, we go, wow, what's that? Yeah. Last time I checked, a lot of y'all God's names start with ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. Black. Yeah. So, you know, understand, understand that this shit is frequency. Yeah, cha-cha. Hit you with that chop, chop, chopstick, nigga. That chop. Yeah, you know. Don't even talk about, you know, when you add the vowels and stuff with it, you start getting all kind of other shit. Start adding vowels or you start adding consonants with it and stuff, you know. But understand, without the ah frequency, frequency, you wouldn't even know how to make it. You wouldn't even know how to make it to because is the way. Remember, W is a Y with a Y chromosome, man. It sounds like what is the way, the truth, and the light. See? So y'all gotta just wake up to the frequency. Remember? A-E-I-O-U, I before E except after Z. No, I before E except after C. You know, they got so many little things that just come up at certain times in your programming. But make no mistake, this shit is programmed. 100%, 1,000,000,000%, this shit is programmed. So, yeah, man. What I'm doing, I think I got something to. Dwayne McClain TV. I'm gonna be doing Dwayne McClain TV. Cha 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 to this Mardi Gras. Look at Mardi Gras. You got Gras, that's Ra, right? Mar, that's Mars. Because what is Mars spelled backwards? Ram, Ra, Ram, the Rams. The Ram is what? The Mars rearranged as Rams. Rams and Mars, Aries. That's Ra in reverse. Aries. All of y'all got, you know, they got a lot of Aryans. Aquarius. Remember, Aquarian. That's right. What you talking about? You know, they got a lot of a librarian. Huh? Atarian. Yeah. A Cancerian. Yeah, man. They got a few. So, you know, understanding that and putting that into perspective, man. Understanding that, putting that into perspective. Hey, man, and y'all didn't remind me. I forgot to put my banner up the whole time when we was on there. Oh well. I'm glad y'all was able to get this work. Any questions? Any questions, man? Any questions? I before E except after C is some weird. Hey, bruh. It's tricks to every trade. There's tricks to every trade. Maybe somebody learned some tricks to the trade. Maybe somebody learned some tricks to the trade. You feel me? So let me hit this weed before I go. And as I hit this weed, we'll be out. And I hope you guys have a good, wonderful, beautiful, blessed day, man. When the album coming? The album coming around summertime. I'm gonna take my time on it. I ain't gonna rush. Summertime gonna be a summertime in my projection. I might drop it on my daughter's birthday. You feel me? I got a few things, but I know for a fact. I know for this one fact. I'm definitely. I definitely want to have it drop this year. Um, yeah, this is definitely something I'm about to be working on, and I'm about to be putting that work in with it. It's gonna be like, yeah, I don't care what they say, I'ma go get it, yeah, and I roll with it. Oh, I don't care what you say, I'ma go get it, yeah. Don't have me get in that studio with you. Boy, who know how to make beats? I'll get this. I got beats for days. Ooh, I don't want to give away none of my beat. I don't want to give away my genius beat making process, and you go and take and make a beat out of my shit. You heard me? But I got some cold blooded beat making processes that I can like really be like. I'm talking about like, you know, I just look. I'm not. That ain't really what I really do. That's just like, yeah. I really get down in my head with the. Ooh, I don't even want to give you no. Like I don't even want to give you. I ain't even talking. I'm not about to hum no melodies. I'm not about to hum no melody. Ooh, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm like Kanye with. I'm like Kanye with the boards in my mind, bro. I'm like Kanye with the boards in my mind. But I'm gonna check y'all later, man. And till next time.